Sorry, I'm boring tonight.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm pretty bored, so I'll let you go, and I'll talk to you later.
Seriously?
Yeah, why not?
All right, whatever.
Well, what?
Nothing.
What do you want to talk about?
No, I didn't care. I just wanted to spend time with you, but it's not like I can get up and dance and everything right now.
I'm not asking you to dance, just like talk about something.
Well, let's find something to talk about.
Well, I got nothing to talk about, so do you?
Yeah, let's find something to talk about.
All right, find something.
All right. What would you like to do when you come to Maine? Is there
Did
anything
you make that agenda already?
specific? No, you know I didn't make it already. I've been sick today.
You can still write on paper when you're sick.
And now the way I've been feeling today, I didn't have energy to do anything.
Uh,
It got worse as the day went on. You know, I worked almost 4 hours this morning before I even left work. Then I went and did the COVID test. Then I went over mom's for, I don't know, a half hour or so. Then I went home just trying to feel better. Is there anything specific that you would like to do? That you would like to see in Maine?
I don't know. You tell me what's there to do.
Well, there's a lot to do. It's just me having a thought process right now. It's not happening very well.
All right. Well, do you want to go to bed?
Uh, no.
You can't even think right now. You just said.
Will you stop seeming so anxious to get off the phone with me? My God. Kind of hoped you like spending time with me on the phone.
Well, I don't normally just sit on the phone. Like, I usually, when I talk to people on the phone, it's because we have like stuff to talk about, you know?
Well, yeah, but how are we gonna have stuff to talk about if we don't start talking on the phone and find stuff to talk about?
Well, why don't we talk when we have stuff to talk about? Otherwise, we're just sitting here.
We're just sitting here spending time together, so we could be able to
Silent.
find things to talk about.
All right.
That's why I told you you should get a headset, and you can get up and do things and move around, do things, and we'll still be able to spend time together. And we can find things to talk about
Well,
still.
what do you mean? Like, do things? Like, just have you on the phone not talking while I do laundry and stuff?
Well, I'll be talking too, but I'll be able to do my stuff too at the same time.
Well, if you have stuff to do, I can let you go.
Well, no, I don't have anything to do right now. I don't want you to let me go.
All right. What do you want to talk about?
All right, let me see. Have you ever played cards before?
Yeah.
What kind of card games do you know?
Like Go Fish and stuff. I don't know why.
I'm just curious. I know some card games. Didn't know if
You
you
want
like
to talk about card games?
no, I just didn't know if you'd like to learn how to play some different card games if you like playing cards. Didn't know, so I thought I'd ask. I don't like playing cards that much, but I used to.
I play
Let me
Yu-Gi-Oh.
see.
I like Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Video cards?
Yu-Gi-Oh
Yu-Gi-Oh. What's Yu-Gi-Oh?
card game.
I've never heard of that. How do you play that?
You have to summon monsters and spells and traps, and you have to bring your opponent's life points down to 0, and then you win.
Is that like Uno?
Not at
Is
all.
it like that? No. Maybe we can play that while you're here. You can teach me how to play that. Do you want to go skiing or snowboarding when you're here?
Where at?
I'm gonna go to Sugarloaf, Squaw Mountain. I prefer going to Sugarloaf. I like Sugarloaf.
How much does that cost? I can't remember.
I don't remember now either, but it doesn't cost that much. My guess is probably for lift ticket is probably, I think maybe $30. I think I can
When was
call and
the
find
last
out.
time you went to Sugarloaf?
Oh, it's been a long, long time. It's, gosh, I think I was in my 20s. I think that's the last time I went. So I might have to go on the bunny slope again
Oh.
for the first trial run. But I miss skiing. I wish I had a snowmobile already, but we don't have any snow here right now anyway. I mean, that could change, but still, we don't have snow here right yet anyway. But if the ponds and lakes freeze over by the time you come, we can go out on the ice in the truck. We have a lot of fun on that. And I'll let you drive me and do whoopies. That shit's cool.
Oh,
You ever seen lighthouses in Maine?
I've seen a lighthouse. Yeah.
See, we can go down on the coast and walk right down on the coast and show you some lighthouse and some other places down on the coast. That's where there's a lot of stuff to do down there. Just sightseeing stuff is pretty cool. I just don't want to. I want to do something different. I don't want to do the same old thing. I want to watch a movie and all that kind of stuff. I want to do something different with you.
What's a whoopee?
A whoopie's it's a donut only on ice. When you do it on ice, you really don't have any control. The only time that you have control is when you're going straight, and then
So what, like restaurants and stuff you like to go to?
I like to go to any restaurants. I'm not big on Chinese. There's some Chinese food that
What
I
are your
like.
like 5 favorite restaurants?
What do I like? What?
What are your top favorite restaurants?
Which end is in Skowhegan? I like that one. Texas Roadhouse. I like that one. You ever been to Texas Roadhouse? It's more than
A
just
lot of
in
times,
Maine.
yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Texas Roadhouse. I don't know. There's other ones that are positive that I like that I don't even know about.
What about like besides chain restaurants? Like what kind of cool restaurants are near you?
Near, um, I don't know. I don't go to restaurants that often either.
What do you do?
Well, I don't eat like I should. I mean, I eat when I feel like eating, and so to, to actually plan to go to a restaurant, it doesn't do me much good. I need to start eating like I used to. But
Okay.
it's like I eat whenever I'm hungry, and I usually don't eat that much. It's usually
That's
eating
what you
nothing.
do when you go to a restaurant. You eat when you're hungry. That's why you go.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't. It's like for breakfast. If I'm not hungry for breakfast, then I don't eat anything.
So what do you do for like dates?
For dates,
Yeah, like when you take
yeah.
a woman on a date.
It's been so long since I've been on a date.
Okay, well, what do you do on your last date?
Oh,
When was it?
I
Like a year ago or something?
no, it was longer than that. It's been a long time since
Uh,
I've been on a
like
date.
like 2 years?
It's been longer than that.
Oh
Well,
my
I've
goodness.
been I've been with Jamie for 2 years, or
And you never took her on a date?
she's never come up here.
Uh, all right. Well, your last date.
Last date I went on, we actually got drunk.
No, but what do you
That's about
do?
it.
Like, where'd you go and what do you do?
We went to a bar, and well, it was actually a restaurant.
Like, you picked her up or what?
Yeah, well, she lives in Skowhegan, so we actually met at Tony's apartment that he was there. He was living in at the time. So we met there and we started drinking there. Then we went out to get something to eat, and
Where'd you
then we
go
went up.
to eat?
There's a little restaurant up in Skowhegan. It's called Ken's. It's called Ken's Family Restaurant. We went there and ate. Went there and ate supper and or dinner. Then we went back to Tony's and we drank again. We drank the rest of the night.
So, when did you go on a date?
That was the date. That's what we decided to do.
Okay. When was your last, like, real date? Like, where you took a woman out somewhere? Like, what would you do if you were taking me on a date? What would you do?
You now is completely different than what I was then. You, I would take you out to lunch. Then I would take
Where?
you. I have to take you to Wits End because I like Wits End, and I want you to be in someplace that's fairly nice. Um, then I'd
Would
like
you
to take
take
you
me
to
to
see a movie.
lunch? Like a lunch
Yep.
date?
No, it'd be an all day date.
Okay.
I'd take
Continue.
I'd take you to lunch, and I'd take you so we could see a movie. Then I'd take you out. I don't know, maybe just walk around the mall or something, just to do something together, just to look, check stuff out.
Walk around the mall and check stuff out.
Yeah, just because I don't go to malls very often. It's like rare. I don't even like going to stores. But when I do, I like to just. Really, I don't even like going in malls anymore. But for a date with you, I'd like to just do something relaxing and enjoyable, at least for a
Like
little while.
walking
Anyway.
around the mall.
Yeah, just check stuff out, see what else is there. I like taking Spencer's gift. I don't even know if they still have Spencer's gifts or not. They've got all kinds of cool gag gifts there. But I wish there was a roller skating rink. It's been a long time since I've been roller skating. I like roller skating.
What's at Spencer's Gifts?
Spencer's Gifts they have all kinds of different gag gifts. I mean that. Oh, there's just gifts there that you never even think would be a gift, a gag gift. They come
Okay, I know they have
know,
gag gifts because you said it, but what are there?
You ever heard of a fart jar?
No.
They got fart jars there that it's literally a jar, like a quart jar. You open it up and that's exactly what it smells like.
Okay. So
They've got all kinds of gifts like that there. They've got sex toy gag gifts and any kind of gag gift that you can think about, or and most things that you don't even think about.
okay, continue on this date. Then what are we doing? We go buy a fart jar.
Yeah, we go buy a fart jar. Then we stop by Roy's camper, put it on the step. I guess I gotta find some things to do. I haven't done things in Maine for so long. I'd like to. There's one place in Maine that I'd like to take you to. Well, actually, there's a couple places I'd like to take you to, so you can check them out. But the problem is
All right, well, this is one day. So far on this date, we have lunch at Woods End or whatever. Then
what's in.
we go to a movie, and then we go to the mall and buy a fart jar from Spencer's.
You're just
And
trying to
we
make
go
fun
to
of me.
your brother's camper. Well, you're the one who want to take me on a date.
I'd like to
I
take
want
you
to know
roller
what's
skating.
on a date.
Do
I know you'd
you
like
do
to,
you want?
but
Do you like roller skating?
I don't really go roller skating.
When,
But I'm just, if I were there tomorrow night, like I show up on your door, where are you taking me? What are we doing on a date? So far, we have going to the mall.
oh, let me see. Okay, we go to the mall, go to a movie, take you to Wits End. See, I'm more outdoors. I don't know what the hell there is to do indoors anymore. Like to take you on a hike, but it's kind of cold, so I don't want you getting all cold.
Well, Maine
But,
sounds really boring.
what, going on a hike?
Everything, I mean, what? That's what you want to do?
I'd like to take you on a hike. That'd be awesome. I'd like to take you to climb Mount Katahdin. You ever climbed the mountain before?
Yeah.
I'd like to think you climb Mount Katahdin. I've only done that once when I was a kid, and I haven't done it since. But they closed down for the season.
So tell me more about the dates you've been on.
Most of the dates that I've been on have been going to bars and to karaoke bars and getting drunk. You know, I didn't.
Get drunk
I
on a
wasn't-
date?
Oh yeah, we do. That's a lot of what I did was wind up getting drunk or drinking on the date. Then take her out to karaoke bars, and that's what we'd wind up doing. And it
So
wasn't
we'd
just
go
my
to a
choice.
karaoke bar as well.
Well, no, because I can't go to karaoke bars anymore.
Okay, so what
So
would you want to do?
oh, I guess I got to find more things that are done that are for indoors.
Live there your whole life, you don't know anything?
Not anymore because I haven't done anything for so long in Maine now.
My God, what do you do?
I do my stuff.
You just waste away.
No, I don't. I tell you, I've been so busy doing my stuff and taking care of mom and not sharing and having to deal with Roy.
Oh my
That
God.
I've
Oh,
that I've been
that's
well.
awful.
Well, okay. I'm gonna be honest with you about something.
Okay.
With this thing, it since this thing, it set me back a lot because it really played tricks on my head, and so it made me so I didn't really want to be out. And
For 15 years, you haven't done anything?
I haven't gone on a date in that long.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it messed with my head a lot. So it's this thing wasn't fun for me. It messed me up a bit.
So you've
wasn't
just been wasting away since the sting, but not doing anything.
No, I haven't been wasting away. I've been doing stuff. It's just I haven't let myself forget about it.
Well, you shouldn't forget about it because it's a life lesson, but like you just kind of
I
been
haven't.
wasting your one life doing nothing. What's going to
I
happen when
haven't.
you're on your deathbed and you're going to look back on your life and for half of it, you just kind of wasted it?
I know.
Does that not scare you?
Well, yeah, it does. I'm so upset with myself for doing what I did that it's affected me in going on dates and stuff.
Well, not just dates. It sounds like you don't do anything at all.
No, I do a lot.
Well,
It's just-
besides like working on your trailer and stuff, I mean, you don't travel or experience new things or do anything
No.
like that, go on vacation. You don't hang out with friends at like go to a restaurant or anything like that.
A lot of it has to do with probation, so I don't have to deal with them. Tell me
Wow.
what I can do and what I can't do. Just go on vacation. Wouldn't be able to go out of state to go on vacation unless I okay it with them first and let
Well,
us
not
know
just
everywhere they're going.
out of state. You don't like have hobbies really. You just work on your trailer, but you don't have any like interest or things you like to do.
I got a lot of things I like to do, just haven't done them.
Okay, well,
It's depressed me a
I
lot.
like to tightrope or
Like-
cross volcanoes. I just haven't done it.
Well, I know what you're saying. I need to start doing things again. Besides working on my trailer and helping mom and dealing with Roy.
Well, yeah, you don't really have a life, it sounds like.
I used to go over Tony's all the time. That would be my escape, was going over Tony's. And I'd get drunk with Tony.
That sounds
Since he
terrible
died.
too.
Yeah, I know. It was really. I had fun going over there, but that was basically the only thing I did for an escape.
I mean, I like to do all sorts of things. Surfing, checking out new restaurants and bars, spending time with my friends, traveling, going to different countries, experiencing new cultures and stuff like that. I've been living a really good life.
That's what I've always done. That's the way I've always been. Right up until this thing happened, and then it just completely shut me right down.
Okay, well, I'm talking about like now, in the past, like since the sting, I've done so much stuff. I've had relationships, been in love, traveled, found new interests, tried new things. And you're kind of like,
I've been stuck.
yeah, like forever.
I've been stuck, and I need to get unstuck. I know.
Yeah, you're just like wasting your one life.
I know. I don't like wasting my life either. Sucks.
No, and you're like nearing the end of the road, you know?
I am not. Will you stop saying that?
I mean, you're closer to dead than alive, right?
No. I don't know. Maybe. I don't want to be realistic. Maybe. But you seem to think that I'm really old, and I'm not. All right, let me see. What else can we do for a date? We can go skiing. Although you don't ski, you like snowboarding, right?
I've been snowboarding.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was all right.
It was just all right. Didn't don't sound like you liked it a lot. Do you want to do it again, or is that something you'd rather pass on?
I don't know. Not really a date activity.
Okay, well, I'll think of some good stuff for us to do. I just kind of want to do something that, it's not an everyday thing.
Like what?
I don't know. I haven't, well, since yesterday, still haven't put much thought into it. I'm just trying to deal with being sick.
Going to the mall is it an everyday thing?
That's an everyday. Well, it's not for me. It's not. For me, it's not an everyday thing. But I know going to the mall is an everyday thing for a normal person. Let me see.
So, like,
Have you
for the
ever seen
past
Stephen?
few months, you just like go to the store, come home, and sit around and then go to bed, wake up, and do it all over again?
No, I don't just sit around. I doing things here at home. But
So,
yeah,
okay, so you like do chores and fix things around the house or whatever.
yeah, for the last few years, that's been what I've been doing because there's been a lot to do on this place. That's why I wish I would have just started building a house versus fixing this thing. But I'd also been spending a lot of time with Jamie too. Her and
You
I
said
spend a
you've
lot of
never
time
met
on the
her.
phone. Yeah, but we spend a lot of time on the phone together. When COVID happened, and really couldn't do much there anyway. I'm gonna have to find some other stuff for us to do. I just really kind of wanted to thinking to see things in Maine that and do things in Maine that aren't an everyday thing. I know walking around the mall is an everyday thing, but just be something different for me. It'd be different. I thought for you might be different for Maine, but you're in California, so you have big malls, which I forgot about. Have you ever seen Stephen King's house?
No.
Would you like to see that?
Can you like go inside and stuff?
No. Unless he invites us in, which I don't think that's gonna happen.
So what do you do? Just look at it?
Yeah, you can just see the outside of it. All
No, I'm good.
right. That's right in Bangor.
I mean, I can see celebrity houses here all day long.
Yeah, that's true. And during Halloween, he has his house all decked out in props from his movies. So he's got a black picket fence around his property. A lot of people come to Maine just to see Stephen King's house during Halloween. Let me see. We could go down to the ocean. It'd be cold though. I'll have to look into more things to do because I don't want to do just everyday things. You can be in the state of Maine. I want you to see some good stuff in the state of Maine. You always ask me, what's in Maine? What's in Maine? Like there's nothing in Maine.
You don't even know what's in Maine.
Well, not anymore, I don't. We'll be sightseeing for the first time. I'm used to doing things outside. I can find some inside stuff to do so you're not cold. But I gotta like know more of what you like to do too.
I like
You've eaten,
to go to breweries. I like to surf. I like yoga, meditation, and dancing.
for breweries. I thought about that before too. Could take you to some of the breweries. We've got some small breweries in Maine that you can
You
actually.
can't go though, I thought.
No, I can go. I just can't drink.
That's awkward.
Yeah, that sucks.
But aren't breweries like primary? They serve
Yeah, that's
alcohol
true.
primarily, so you
Yeah,
probably
that's
can't.
true too. Yeah, I can't go to them either. Then shit pisses me off. I gotta get that. I really gotta get that restriction off me. It was off me before, but they put it on me because of where I found out well, started to get drunk, and then some assholes would record me and put me on the internet. They took it off my. They made it a restriction.
They sent you back to prison for drinking. So were you like drunk
Drinking
driving and
anyway.
stuff, or what?
I was drinking anyway. You know, we weren't supposed to.
Uh,
So,
but you weren't doing anything illegal while drinking.
no, I wasn't doing anything illegal.
Oh, so if you
Go,
weren't
go,
driving or like getting into bar fights, what was the problem?
they would record me and put me on the internet.
But you were just at your house, so
Yeah, and I'd be drinking,
and
not
that's why
knowing
they
that
made you not drink.
not knowing that I was being recorded. That's what they would do to me. They would record me drinking.
Why would
They
they
record
record you drinking?
just to be assholes, just to do anything that they could to get something of me to put me on the internet.
Okay.
And they would record me, put me on the internet. Then my probation officer would see it.
How did they record you drinking? Did they have like cameras in your
Phone.
house and stuff, or what?
No, on the phone.
How could they tell you were drinking?
That was Emma and Winnie's thing. One of their things they did. They would record me and put me on the internet
How would that get you in trouble?
because they would record me and put me on the internet. My probation officer would listen to them. And me not knowing that they were recording me, I would let them know that I'd been drinking. So then,
But they had
started,
no evidence of you drinking.
no, well, no, I don't think they did. I might have taken a picture of me drinking a beer or something, sent to her, to Emma. I think I
But
did
you were
that.
allowed to drink at the time, so why did they take it away?
Because I wasn't allowed to drink at the time. Before this, I was allowed to drink, but I
How
was
did they
only
take it
allowed.
away?
They just put it on my probation thing. They brought me a
Why?
paper to sign. They brought me a paper signed that says that I can no longer drink alcohol on
For
probation
no reason?
for no reason. Well, no, not for no reason, because they knew I was getting drunk. Well, I failed the lie detector test because I was drinking. They asked a question about me drinking.
But you said you were allowed to drink. So then you lied. And what were you
Before I
lying about?
before I was allowed to drink.
Right. And then you failed the lie detector test about drinking?
No, before I was allowed to drink. I was allowed to drink before this. At first, I was allowed to drink. Then they would record me and put me on the internet when I was drinking, and my probation officer would hear that. So they wound up putting
Okay.
it on a paper. They wound up bringing me a paper and signing the paper, having me sign the paper, stating that I would no longer drink.
But you weren't doing anything illegal.
No, but I would still drink.
Yeah, but you're
Then they
allowed
asked me,
to drink.
no, when I signed the paper that I wouldn't.
Prior to that, They
Prior to
recorded
that, I
you
was,
doing something that you were allowed to do. So how did that
yeah,
get you banned from alcohol? There's something
because
missing there.
probation thought I was drinking too much.
Why?
Because they would always record me when I was drinking.
What were you doing in these recordings that made it sound like you were drinking too much?
That's when they would get me wound up the most.
Wound up like
They,
what?
they do
Like, what do you mean?
they do things that was when Winnie was pretending that she was you and was on drugs and shit.
How would they get
That's
you
when
wound? What was define wound up?
they get me wound up. Winnie would start doing stupid stuff. She started
So
doing
what?
drugs. She'd act like she was doing drugs.
So
And
how
like
did
she
you
was,
get wound? What is being
I
wound
would get
up like?
I would get all upset about her doing drugs.
Upset? How?
Like upset. I'd yell at her so she would listen to me. She'd be doing drugs, acting like she was doing drugs, and doing erratic things. So I would yell at her, and they would record that, and they'd put it on
Well,
the
what were
internet.
you yelling at her? You were just yelling at her like to stop doing drugs. Why is that a problem?
Well, there's okay. One of the instances that this happened was okay. This was one of the times she was pretending to be you. This was at the time she was pretending to be you. She went to a party, and she was drinking, and then they had this lap dance contest thing that they did, and supposedly she won, and then somebody had her do drugs, and I was mad at her for doing that, and then she went outside, and so she was just alone with me, so she could talk to just me. And all of a sudden, these three guys come up and start manhandling her, and and they wound up raping her. This was all an act that they were putting on, so that they could get me wound up and record me.
So how are you getting wound up?
That wound me up. I was
Define
yelling.
wound up. You keep saying wound up, but it means nothing.
Yelling.
Yelling
Trying
what?
to yelling. Well, at that time, I was yelling at them to leave her alone, even though
Why is that
supposedly they
bad?
couldn't hear me. Huh?
So why is that bad? You're yelling at someone to not rape somebody.
Because when they record me and put it on the internet, it makes me sound bad.
How so?
Me not because it's just me yelling. They wouldn't record the rest of it.
So
They'd
you're
edit
just
it.
screaming like, ah.
Yeah, I'd be yelling at them and yelling at her, trying to. Well, there was a point where she was supposedly passed out, and I'd be yelling at her to wake up, and they would edit the whole thing before they would put it on the internet.
So you heard them all? Like the recordings?
No, I haven't heard them all. Probation has.
Oh. So how do you know that they were like edited or something? Or that they were fake or whatever?
Because I know what happened at that time, and probation would tell me what was on there. And they would leave out some parts that was on there, and I was like, yeah, they didn't know what led up to me yelling.
What were you yelling?
It was there were so many times that they did it, I don't even remember now.
All right, well then a different example. Give
They
me an
did it
example you
all
remember.
Oh, I just gave you one that I remember. Another one was when this girl named Ramona that Emma had set me up with. Little to my knowledge, Ramona was already engaged to somebody. The whole thing was a catfish. So they had set up a supposed date with a doctor, and she went on the supposed date, and this she went back to his house and hit an elevator that lifted the car up. She had hurt her leg, and lifted.
Okay,
They
great.
had hit her
But
at his house.
what are you yelling? I get that it made you like it was a catfish, but what were you yelling? I asked, like, give me an example of what you would yell when you're talking about a lady's hurt leg in an elevator.
It was mostly it was more at the guys that I was yelling at and get me pissed off. They'd say some stupid shit to me.
Where can I listen to these?
I don't know. I'd rather you not listen to them.
Well, you're not doing a very good job at explaining.
Well, probably because I don't want to remember them.
Okay, well, you're asking me to come meet you and all this stuff, and you're not telling me anything. It sounds like you're like leaving stuff out.
Well, it's not like I'm intentionally leaving it out. It's just I try not to remember them. It's a bad part in my life that I'd rather leave behind.
Oh.
I didn't like being catfished. I didn't like being played with. It was a very emotional thing for me. I'm not intentionally leaving things out. So I intentionally forget things.
You intentionally forget things?
Yeah.
You are intentionally forgetting things that you. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. That's not possible.
Yeah,
How do you like think of something and then purposely like block it from your memory?
Because I can.
So like if you just wanted to stop, like if you wanted to forget what your favorite food is, you have the ability to do that. Like you can just stop doing it and forget it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I was so emotionally involved with Winnie, which I thought was you at the time. And it turned out to be a letdown.
Turned out to be a what?
A letdown. And it hurt me quite a bit. So I intentionally tried to block it out. When I put my emotions into something, I really put them in 100%. I don't just go half-assed.
Well, that's good.
I had my emotions 100% into that. And it sucked. It really sucked. was very disappointing.
Yeah, I bet. I just don't get why that means you can't drink alcohol.
I would drink at the time. At the time, I was drinking alcohol, even though I weren't supposed to drink alcohol. I was drinking alcohol. The reason that they had me sign a paper not drinking was actually because I failed polygraph because of, from drinking, on the question of drinking, because they had made me sign the paper that I wouldn't drink, that I would no longer drink alcohol, and I still drank alcohol. So then, before that, when I was able to drink, they only wanted me to drink 1 or 2 beers a day. So I would drink more than that. So I would go over Tony's and I would drink over there. But after I drink over Tony's, I'd go home.
And you would drive home.
Yeah, and I only lived like 100 yards from Tony, but still.
Well, I asked you if you were driving drunk earlier, and you didn't say anything.
Well, yeah, because I would drive from Tony's to my house. It's only 100 yards away, but still I would drive.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
yeah. So
that's
the answer
illegal.
to that question
Okay.
is yes, that's illegal. So I would do that. And drive far, but it was still illegal for me to drive there.
If it's 100 yards, why not just walk?
Don't
it's
know.
only the length of a football field. You can
yeah,
throw a
I
rock
know.
at the house.
I know. But at the time, I wasn't using my head enough to just walk. So there's no other excuse for that.
That makes sense why they told you not to drink. You left that part out, and it was very confusing because you were like, I was able to drink, and then I drank, and then they said I couldn't drink because I failed the polygraph. You know what I mean? It didn't make any sense, but now it makes sense.
Well, there was nothing there about drinking and driving.
Well, that's illegal for everybody.
Well, I know. But what their concern was me being recorded and being put on the internet.
They were concerned about that, but not the drinking and driving.
Yeah, well.
Wow.
I'm sure they were probably concerned about it, but that's not what they portrayed the biggest concern to be.
I gotcha.
The biggest concern they portrayed to be was me being put on the internet.
Yeah.
I hate talking about this stuff. I hate going back to that time.
Well, you know that when you try to get to know someone, like you personally, you're gonna have to explain that every time. So I know you don't like talking about it, but every time you meet a woman or want to get to know someone, you're gonna have to say that stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so it's like not avoidable. I know it probably annoys you to talk about it, but I've never heard it. And everyone you meet is gonna need to know about it.
I want to tell you about all this stuff, and I want to be open and honest with you about it. God, I hate going back to that shit. It's just so emotional for me. Friggin', I just fucking hate it. I was really in love with winning. What she was portraying to be you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they knew it. That's when they started doing the most things to me.
Like what? They knew
All the
you
shit.
loved her, so what did they do?
Well, the thing I told you about the rape. And then they started doing more drugs. That's actually when the drugs came into the picture. So they knew I was in love with her. So it really got me wound up because I hate drugs.
Well, when you met her, was she doing drugs and stuff?
No, not that I know.
Well, I mean, you would have saw when you were hanging out with her.
This was all over the phone. I never met
Oh,
Winnie
this
in
is
person.
okay. Which ones have you met in person?
Emma and Dan are the only two that I've met in person.
Oh, you're bisexual.
Am I bisexual? I'm not
I,
bisexual.
I was asking who you dated that you met in person.
No, Emma was the one that portrayed to be my best friend. She was married when Emma was actually the first one that I met. She was the one that sent me a package that had a plush blanket in it and Oreo cookies and some other crap. And she left her number and email address in there. And I thought it was nice. She told me if I ever wanted to contact her, and that was her phone number, and I could call her or email her. I didn't have the internet at the time. Yeah,
But
this is actually
of the
how
women
it all started.
of the women you
Huh?
dated, which ones have you met?
From the internet?
Yeah, any of them.
I haven't met any of them. They're all
Oh,
catfish. They were all catfished.
how many total?
There was Ramona and Winnie. That Winnie actually portrayed to be you, and then I still dated
Does
Winnie
that
even
count
when,
as two?
and I still dated Winnie even when I found out that she was Winnie and not you, because I was still in love
Okay,
with the
so we'll
person
count that as two people.
that was Debbie.
You dated a woman named Debbie. I don't think you've
Yeah,
told me that.
she was a very short-lived thing. It wasn't. She was Winnie's
Well,
sister.
how did you guys break up?
We really didn't date. Even we talked on the phone some, but then not a lot. And then she started doing some fucked up shit that would just really seem screwed. So that's why I hate talking about the whole thing. The whole thing is so screwed up.
Well, yeah, you dated her sister. That's weird. And then you dated her.
You know,
Kind of
well,
gross.
it was her that took me away from her sister. So she seemed more normal than what Winnie seemed.
Kind of messed up.
It was very messed up.
No, I mean like on your part.
Why? Because I dated her sister.
Yeah.
I've known if that happened before. Other people do
Um,
that before.
I would just assume that's like off limits.
That's the way I used to think too. Until So I heard about other people doing that. I'm like, I don't know, maybe
Well,
it was
it's messed up when they do it too.
the way I thought. Huh?
It's messed up when they do it too.
Yeah. Well, when I found out about other people dating their previous boyfriend's sister or brother or whatever, I started thinking, well, maybe it's just the way that I think is messed up, and maybe that's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's something wrong with that.
Mm. That's what I thought.
I mean, how would you feel if Jamie dated your brother? Wouldn't that be weird?
It would be weird to me. But see, I was in. All right, I went with one of my friends one time to his party.
Hello?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
You sound far
Can you
away.
hear?
Barely.
How about now?
I can hear you.
Okay.
So, like, what's the point though? Like, because other people do it, that makes it okay?
Well, it makes me stop. It made me stop and think. You know, maybe it's just the way that I think because I led a sheltered life. Maybe it's the way that I thought that, or maybe the way I was thinking was wrong. I went to this party one time with one of my friends, and I knew these two people, but I didn't know that they were together. And I found out that they were married, but I also knew his brother, and they told me that she used to be married to his brother, but now she was married to him. And I looked at them. I said, "Don't you find that a little odd?" I said, "Your brother probably doesn't like that too much, does he?" He said, "No, my brother's fine with it." He said, "My brother's coming over to the party later on." I was like, "Seriously?" I thought it was really strange. And that right there was the time when I started thinking, well, okay, maybe it's with the way that I'm thinking because it's, you know, they're no longer married, so why should
Those
they
people
hold
were
them?
also disgusting.
Yeah, it must have been. I thought it was just the way that I was thinking, but
No, you were right the first time.
you know, there's some strange people in this world. I can tell you that. It's a fucked up world.
Well, you did it too, so.
Yeah, I did it too. But to be honest, I don't even know if Debbie and Winnie were actual sisters.
But you thought they were.
But I thought they were.
Yeah. Just like you
So,
thought they were all your girlfriends, you know?
yeah.
In reality, they probably had, like, other boyfriends and stuff.
Yeah, they did. Ramona had a fiance. And Winnie was married. I never knew her. See why I don't like talking about that?
Why? Because it's, like, really embarrassing.
It's extremely embarrassing and extremely emotional. Especially with Winnie, because I had a lot of my emotions involved in Winnie.
I mean, you know, you're going to have to explain that to everyone.
Winnie?
So.
Well, hopefully things go good with us, and I won't ever have to explain it again. I hate bringing my mind back to that crap. The whole thing is so friggin' stupid. It's unbelievable. And never in my life would I ever think somebody would, or a group of people especially, would get together and plan shit like that. sad.
Yeah,
And
your whole
bad
life's
memo.
kind of been pretty sad.
Huh?
But yeah, your life's kind of been pretty sad.
Yeah, since this thing, yeah, it is. It is. I just snap out of it. Before this thing, actually, I had a really good life. Right up until my family started using me for money. I had my septic business then, and I made a lot of money. Unfortunately, I idolized my oldest brother and my sister. And they were able to manipulate me pretty easy.
Manipulate you to do what?
To get money out of me.
How they manipulate you.
Well, when I started, the second time I came back from Washington State, I started my septic business, and they didn't think I was going to do good with it. You know, and the first job I wound up being a $10,000 job. Well, then they paid attention. So.
Well, how they manipulate you? I don't need to know, like, okay, lead up to it. Go ahead.
I'm leading up to it. They saw that I was able to get jobs that cost a lot of money that I'd make a lot of money on, and so they'd find a way to give me a guilt trip, a poor me story, so they could get money out of me. And I wound up buying my brother Ralph's house. Well, they kind of stuck me in the spot. They got together, Ralph and Lori, and stuck me in a spot where it was kind of tough for me because Ralph wanted to sell his house, and he had already asked me if I wanted to buy his house, and I told him no. But at the time, I had built myself a small place right across from my sister's driveway on my sister's land, and I was paying the electrical for my place and her place, but she had just gotten her boyfriend that was going to wound up being her husband, and so she didn't want me to live there anymore. So her and Ralph got together, and Lori told me that I had to find a different place to live. So of course, Ralph came up again and asked me if I wanted to buy his house. So then I told him, yeah, I kind of don't have much of a choice now. So
well, there's other options besides buying your brother's home.
Yeah, there was, but I also needed a place where I could put money down and pay on it. So he told me to give him $1,000 down and then pay him $5,000 a month for 4 months in a row. So that's what I did.
So when did they guilt trip you or trick you? Because it kind of sounds like they did you a favor. He got you a place to live.
No, he didn't do me a favor. He told me everything was caught up on the house. And after I bought it from him, after I signed papers, I found out that he was like, what was it, $2,500 behind in taxes, and trying to think, $6,000 behind in payments. So I had to catch up on all that. And what he did was him and his wife wound up moving to Guilford, and which is the same town that her mother lives in, his wife's mother, his mother-in-law. But they wound up getting a rent-to-own trailer, and he lived there for like a year until until they moved again. And he came down and he asked me if I wanted to buy that trailer and take over payments, and then I could rent it out. He said he already had somebody that wanted to rent it out for $450 a month, and he told me if I give him $2,000 down, then just take over payments. He said that person's going to pay $350 a month, so all I'd have to do is pay him $100 a month. And so I said, yeah. I said that sounds like a good deal. So I trusted him again, and I shouldn't have. Yeah, well, I made 2 months of payments at $100 a month to him, thinking those people were still there paying $350 a month, but those people weren't even there to begin with, and he didn't even have the trailer. So which I didn't even have a trailer. I was just giving him $100 a month for nothing. So he screwed me out of that. And him and my brother Richard, they wanted to come in on the business with me. So I let them come in on the business. And I got one job that was $11,000, and when the job was done, I split it 3 different ways. Like they got $3,000 each, and I got $3,000, and I wound up paying all the bills, and they still kept their $3,000 instead of throwing any money in. So I told them that I was going to do the business by myself, because it was stuff like that the whole time that I had the business. They constantly tried to get money out of me. So they would manipulate me in certain ways to do it.
So it was total like $200 that they took from you.
200, it was a lot more than 200. You mean for just that trailer?
Yeah.
It was 2,200 for that trailer. I gave him $2,000 down. Then I was supposed to pay him just $100 a month because he had somebody that was going to pay $350 a month that was going to rent the trailer. There was nobody that was renting the trailer for $350 a month. He just wanted an extra $100 a month. So he lied to me.
Oh, okay.
The third month, I went to give him the $100, and he said, "You don't have to give me that." He said, "People just decided they're not going to rent the trailer, and I just let it go back to the original owners." I'm like, "Well, it was supposed to be mine, so why were you making that decision without talking to me first?" There was all kinds of stuff like that happened, and I did things out of that I felt. I did some things for them without them asking too. That kind of hurt me quite a bit, just because of the way they reacted to it. I was expecting a different reaction than what they gave me.
What they give you?
There was one year that when Ralph was living in that trailer that I just told you about, they needed insulation around the bottom of the trailer for the winter time, and they needed help putting it on. So I had all kinds of insulation, styrofoam insulation. So I took that up, and I took a couple guys from my crew out, and we did that for them for a day. So in total, it cost me $700 to do that. And I told Ralph, I said, "You don't have to pay me back." I said, "If you want to give me anything back, just have your wife make me some deviled eggs." And my sister Lori, I did like $700 worth of work at her house for her, and told her it's a Christmas present. Don't You don't need to give me anything back. If you want to give me something, just make me some of your homemade macaroni and cheese. And then my brother Paul, I gave him $425 so we could buy him some heating oil, and told him he didn't have to give me anything back. If you want to give me something back, just make me some meatballs that him and his wife made. So my intention was I just didn't want them to go out and spend a bunch of money on me for a present or anything. I just wanted to help them out, and I didn't want them spending a bunch of money on me. And well, none of them did anything.
Well,
they didn't make.
You just said that they didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But even though I said that, it still hurt me that they didn't do anything.
Well, okay. I mean, if someone wanted to do work on my home and they said, if you want to give me mashed potatoes, but you don't have to, I probably wouldn't.
Okay, I know that I'm wrong in feeling hurt about that. That's
Yeah.
part of where I was raised with the way mom is.
And they can't read your mind.
Oh, I
You
know.
said you can do it, but you don't have to. You didn't say you need to give me this, so I'll do that.
Yeah, I know. I know I was wrong in feeling the way that I did, but
Yeah, that was
it
all right.
it still hurt. I mean, it still hurt
Well,
me.
I'm sure it did, but
I was wrong in being hurt. I was, the main reason I did it was to help them out.
yeah, you did them a favor.
Yeah, it just hurt me that they didn't show anything towards it.
It's a really weird thing to be holding on to for so long.
I know. Well,
Because I've done things for
I
my
think
brother, and he hasn't done anything back, and I just let it go because he's my brother. So, that's just a brother and sister relationship.
yeah, but
Sometimes he does things for me, sometimes I do stuff for him, and sometimes he tells me he's going to do something for me and doesn't do it. And I can't even, it's been so many times I can't remember, but it's not a big deal.
see, with my sister, it's not such a big deal because her and I are like that. We'll do things for each other. Even though at the time it was more her looking for ways to get anything that she could for free. She's changed since then. But with my brother Ralph, he was the one that I idolized the most because he was the oldest, and to me, he was the only real, well, how do I say that? Not father figure, but he was the one that I looked up to the most all through my years of growing up. And I had never known of him to do stuff like that before I started making all the money that I made. And then that's when he started doing that stuff. And that it took me a while to realize that, what he was doing, the way he was being. Then down the road, I realized more things too. So.
Well, yeah, he's not your father, so it's not really his responsibility.
No, it's not. Now I take into consideration too that at the time, the way that he probably felt at the time, how betrayed he had felt by dad leaving, what position it put him in. He was rebellious after dad left. He was rebellious. Now I understand more why he was rebellious. He was put in the position of a position that he shouldn't have had when he was 10 years old.
He was 10?
When dad left, yeah.
You thought of him as your father when he was 10? I was For some reason, I thought you meant as like an adult. He was a 10-year-old.
Well, that's when Dad left. Ralph was 10 when Dad left. Actually, not even 10. Ralph was 9 when Dad left.
So you looked up to him as like a father figure when he was a 9-year-old.
Well, not as a father figure, but as the older figure. Oldest
He's
figure that but I
9.
was 2. I was 2. I was 2 when
Oh.
that happened. So it's like, the whole time I didn't even know Dad. Dad, it never bothered me about Dad being gone because I was 2 when he left. So I didn't even know him. So it was like Ralph was
Exactly.
the only oldest figure that I knew.
Yeah, but Ralph was still only 9.
Right, but to tell a 2-year-old that, what's that gonna do?
So a
It doesn't
2-year-old what?
to tell a 2-year-old that your oldest brother is only 9. It doesn't do anything because 2 years old, I'm not gonna know difference anyway. It's not gonna matter to a 2-year-old.
Well, nothing matters to a 2-year-old.
Exactly. That's why it was ever since I was 2 that I had always looked up to Ralph because he was the only oldest male figure.
You can remember back when you were 2?
No, but I don't have any memories of Dad.
I'm sure Ralph doesn't either. He was 9.
No, Ralph had memories of Dad.
Okay.
Ralph was 9. By the time you're 9, you have memories, a lot of memories. When you're 2, you don't have that many memories.
I mean, he was still 9. He was just a baby.
Yeah, I know, but he got put in a position that he shouldn't have been in when he was 9.
Yeah, like a father figure at 9. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That poor kid.
Yeah, no kidding. I understand why he was rebellious. Now, back then I didn't know.
He was a rebellious 9-year-old.
When Dad left, I remember Mom having a hell of a time with Ralph. He'd
Yeah.
do something. She'd have to do whatever she could to try to keep him straight. I remember
So
one
you
time.
can remember it too.
Well, no, I weren't 2 then. I have one memory.
Wasn't.
One memory about when Ralph did something to piss Mom off, and Mom. I remember Mom yelling, and all I remember is Ralph running down the hall and darting into the back bedroom.
Yeah, he was a child.
He was a teenager at this time, but I was like,
Still a child.
I think I was like 5 or 6 at the time, and
So he was like 12, 13,
no, he was
or 14.
7 years older than me.
And you were 5, so 13.
No, maybe he
Or 12.
must have been older. Must have been older than that. I must have been around 8. He was 7. So he's 14 or 15. I remember him running down the end of the hall and darting into the back bedroom. And I remember I remember Mom took his shoe. And there was a back door with a glass window in it. She just shook the shoe and threw it at him. And he darted into the bedroom. She broke the door.
I made him rebellious.
He I don't know what the hell he did, but he did something to piss her off.
Yeah, all kids piss their parents off at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Mom only having her and trying to keep a 15-year-old boy in line, 14, 15-year-old boy in line. Mom's only 5'2". So she did what she had to do back then. But
Okay.
I just don't want you. I don't want you to prejudge mom.
I don't know your mom.
I know, but with me telling you stories, all things I'm meant to do. I don't want you to prejudge her because she's really a
Okay.
sweet lady. She's really a very sweet lady. But
All right. Well, I'm gonna
I
go
know
read a book or something. So I'll talk to you later.
all right.
Okay.
Do you want me? Do you
What?
want me to send you that? Do you want me to send you that book that I wrote?
Oh, like pictures, you mean?
Yeah. Or,
Yeah, like send it in an email so I don't get a million text messages.
okay. Well, I don't know how the hell I can do that, but or you can just wait till you
Well,
hear and read it here.
okay, we'll do that instead. All right.
Okay. All
Bye.
right. Good night, beautiful.